Every day is special when you spend it with people you love. I love you, you love me. We are one big family with a hug and a kiss and an I love you. Won't you say you love me too?
Welcome back. So what exactly does it take to create a happy family? You have the solution, don't you, Denise?
Oh, yeah, don't have any.
The answer will surprise you, and it doesn't have to take long to make the change. For more, we are joined by KidSpot parenting expert. He is wonderful. Please welcome him to Studio 10, Dr. Justin Coulson. Justin, thanks again for joining us. Now, you have a sensational new book called 21 Days to a Happier Family, which was launched earlier this month. Tell us a little bit about this book.
Well, I wrote the book because whenever I go out in public and I watch parents with their children, they never look happy. Parents are walking around with this face like, and we say things like, kids, would you just hurry up? I've told you once, I've told you twice, just get in the car. And parents in public just never look like they're happy. And of course, in the line of work that I'm in, helping families be happier, I'm dealing with families day in and day out where parents are saying, the kids are driving me crazy. I don't know how to deal with them. What am I supposed to do? Yeah.
And I always chew your ear off when I see you.
Because it's hard work to have a happy family. Yeah.
But that's what I love about your book, because it does give you some straightforward tips, even though I'm still struggling to implement them.
Of course, yeah. So am I.
What are some, like, what are some good tips that we can begin
Let's go through
with?
them now. I think we've got some of the tips now. So
great.
number one is nurture. So take us through this, Justin. What do you
Okay,
mean by this?
so quite often parents just sort of think that the children will raise themselves. And dads are particularly bad with this. We're like, just go and do what I said. And then we turn our backs because we're busy, because the email's pinging, or because we've got to watch the footy, or whatever it might be. And nurturing means that we stop and we support and we encourage and we help kids to grow. You've got to nurture a garden. If you don't nurture the garden, it ends up with lots of weeds and mess. The kids need to be nurtured.
I don't know, I just tell my 2-year-old all the time, just go and park the car and then come back.
Just figure it out.
Understanding is the second tip.
Okay, so we're really bad at this. When our kids are driving us crazy, we say things like, would you just cut it out? Calm down, stop it. And that's not particularly effective. I don't know if you've ever walked in at the end of a long day and said to your significant other, I've had a really bad day, and they say, oh, would you just get over it? Would you just calm down? And you don't usually feel validated. You don't really feel understood. We want somebody to turn towards us and connect with us and say, it sounds like it's been really rough. How can I help?
Right, now the third tip is?
The third tip is guide. Yeah, now this is I think everyone says to me, Justin, how do I discipline my kids? You know, they do the wrong thing and I want to discipline them. And what they're really saying is, what's the most effective punishment? How can I make my child suffer for making my life hell? And punishment and discipline are different things. Punishment means we hurt somebody because we don't like what they've done. Discipline means we teach or we guide or we instruct. When we approach discipline from a teaching perspective, that changes the way we engage with the kids. When they do something wrong, we don't try to get mad at them, we try to teach them.
So no slapping.
That's right.
So give us an example on how you would do that then, Justin, with
Sure.
discipline.
Okay, so let's say we've got a child, let's say we've got a 2-year-old who's having a big tantrum. Instead of saying, would you cut it out, would you stop it? What we do instead is we crouch down on the floor and we say, you're really upset right now. That's the understand part. You're really angry. You really wish that we didn't have to leave the park. You want to play all day long. Wouldn't it be fun? And we say, so what do you think we should do? And the 2-year-old says, well, I want to stay. He says, I know, but this is what we've got to do and this is why, and we explain why, and then we pick them up and we take them home.
But
so we
do they
teach them.
listen, though? That's what I find difficult, because you do that and then they go, I hate you. You're the worst mummy in the world. And then you're like...
Here's my favourite story, and I'll make it very quick because I know we're tight on time. You've got a 16-year-old girl who gets told by her friends, we didn't invite you to our party last week because it's not the kind of party that your parents would approve of. This is what actually happened to my daughter a few weeks ago. This is not a party that Dr. Justin Coulson would approve of, so we just didn't invite you. I said to my daughter, I feel so awful for you. You must feel so weird and so isolated and so friendless. I felt so bad for her. That's the understanding part. And then I said to her, tell me, do you think we need to revisit the rules? But because we've spent a lot of time disciplining, that is teaching, guiding, instructing, she actually paused for a minute. She said, Dad, I really don't like the rules, because the rules are, you know, if there's going to be lots of alcohol, if there's going to be lots of sex, all that sort of stuff, we don't go to those parties. We want to just keep our kids safe.
And the fourth tip is tradition.
It is. But the interesting thing before we get to tradition, Carlotta, is my daughter looked at me and said, I don't like the rules, Dad, but they're good rules. She wanted to keep them, and that's what discipline does versus punishment. Traditions. Traditions is about having fun together as a family. So, you know, have Super Saturdays together where you absolutely are committed to family time. You have Monday nights where you turn off all the devices and you've got an hour and a half where nobody does anything except talk and be with their family, or having a meal together. That's a tradition. Maybe the Sunday roast, whatever it is. Create fun traditions with
Can
your
we
family.
point out that you have 6 daughters?
6 of them, yeah.
Six.
God, the guy's a rabbit.
And there they are.
Energizer Bunny.
Oh,
Wow.
and
Wow.
another one of your
That's
suggestions,
fabulous.
is fun. And what also I like about your advice and your book in particular is that you're very honest. You begin your book by saying, you didn't feel like you were a good dad, and you were kind of battling with one of your young daughters over the doorknob, and she was on one side, and that you kind of got to that point.
She just wouldn't go to sleep, and I locked her in a room, and she was fighting to get out, and she was kicking the door and screaming and waking up her little sister, and I was losing the plot, and I realised I got no idea how to do this.
But I like that you're able to kind of go, you know what, I'm not perfect either, because we all struggle, don't we?
Yeah, and you said before, you're reading the book, but you're still struggling with it.
Yes.
I wrote the book, and I still struggle with it.
Okay.
I mean, parenting is really hard
So it was
work.
okay that I shouted last night.
Well, it's better not to,
Yeah.
but just don't do it tonight.
That's the fun part.
Justin, thank you so much, because they're such great tips. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Sasha.
And you can grab a copy of Justin's book. It is fantastic. Head to happyfamilies.com.au or head to your local bookstore. It's got all those tips in it. Thank you once again, Justin. Much appreciated.
It's a great book.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It really is.
Thank you.